we're kind of discussing over here things we've been working on kind of in the different dojos amongst the teachers. And so one of the things, of course, we all work on Sanshin no Kata and the kihon happo. So in my dojo, that's what we've been doing, but we've been doing things like the bojutsu with it. But also one of the main points that I talked about with my group is the way we train. Because, you know, we all get kind of comfortable and complacent. We do like the Sanshin and the Gogyo, the kihon happo, and we kind of get complacent and we go through the motions. And the thing is, what I was showing them the other night, by simply things like efficiency of footwork, paying attention to those little small things can actually make the difference in, you know, how you exert yourself during the technique or how much work you put into it. So for instance, we'll start with, so the theme, I guess it was last year, this year, Sensei's been talking about musha dori.
Muto dori?
Muto dori, yeah. Japanese, I'm not. Joe, help me out. Muto dori, so capturing a warrior. Some believe it's, hey, capture, you know, it's, well, I'm trying to capture the sword, all the stuff we see in the videos. But no, it's not that. But I'm going to use the kihon muto dori to kind of illustrate why it's just not that. So, from Kumiyuchi. Now, it's two different ways. I know we all train using from Kumiyuchi to do the opposite. So we train from Kumiyuchi. Well, actually, you're right. So we train from Kumiyuchi doing the muto dori. But the actual densho, it actually trains from one. I actually learned this from the Yuji, according to my notes. I might be wrong about it, but I thought Sensei said this. He said actually you train with the one where you start doing the technique, but we'll train from Kumiyuchi since we all been doing that. So when I see this, people kind of, they do this kind of thing, they go through, and I got lucky that time, but I'm trying to purposely mess this up and it's not working. So they kind of go through the motions and they just kind of drop it. So what I want to emphasize is the way we train. So number one, I'm covered, and look, I'm starting this, look at his spine, it's broken. His structure's broken. Now, I'm not going to step in and give him his balance, but what I'm going to do is, since I'm here, I'm going to keep this here. Now notice, as he comes, and if I simply just turn, that'll dislocate his shoulder. I didn't even get a chance to do a kick because of the efficiency of footwork. So what I see a lot is people don't do this, they may start out right, but they'll go back, give them the bounce, and now you're fighting for this. Shouldn't be that hard. So down, I'm here. And watch, as I'm bringing this, I didn't even really get to finish. So, play. That's what you really want. So, as this comes in, I'm already doing, but I'm still guarded, because you may have to, you may have to, like, for ladies, nekote, cat hand, you may have to scratch or something, or claw, I should say, not scratch. So I'm down, 45. Now look, I don't want to stay here, so watch. As I come here, watch, I'm not just doing this. I know we see in the book where it does this. I take a tendency to turn the bones of my arms inwards, kind of. I do this very sort of violently like this. So, I'm like this because now my structure is, and so the thing where we used to get on the ground and dislocate their shoulder just by simply rotating and put that out while we're standing. The object is, Nagano Sensei said years ago, I remember him saying in class, he said, efficient taijutsu is better than good taijutsu. So the point is I'm trying to eliminate all these steps. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, and then he goes down, and 6, I'm making this 1, and it's done. And then here, yes, you can get the kick, or you just, okay? All right, but, so even still, you can kind of, I haven't even, so also too, I don't think we all noticed this, but in this the way I sort of interpret my notes and the basics is there's a timing element here too. The more advanced you get, you start looking at different aspects of it. So, okay, this room we're looking at our footwork. Make sure our placement's right. So now let's kind of look at a point of timing. So I'm here. So now, where do I kick? Do I kick here? I see when a lot of people do this, to me, I don't think it's just my opinion. It's effective. You can kind of kick and destroy his knee, but per doing the waza, you know how the foot comes up off the ground. I think that's a timing element. So part of it is once you have, and notice I'm low. So once I do this, see how he comes up off his heels. Now only by that's when I'm able to do the kick. You don't kick for the sake of kicking or strike for the sake of striking. I think we have to look at how we train. Look at why do we do this? How is Sensei Tucker able to pull this stuff off? He has an understanding of all the elements within the wall. So try that. Try to get it to where once you get, the technique, you'll feel this weight shift. When you feel it come up, then apply the kick. Then it's easier. Okay, play. Kind of play with the waza a little bit. This is not necessarily hinka. I'm actually combining two things. So everybody knows the jumonji, right? And jumonji, right? So I'm gonna sort of do these two together because I like doing basics. So here, now here. Oh, sorry. Yeah. That's it. So slowly. So the punch comes through. So I'm striking. Now, in order for me to close the distance, I can strike here, or basically I'm hitting the same spot. I'm basically. Okay? Any question? Play. So when this comes in, so when the punch comes in, remember, we're not striking for the sake of striking. Watch his arm. I'm hitting him. What's this? Hoshi? So, and the thing, Nagata is across the top. So you're hitting like right here, right inside there, and you're striking. You can strike this way, but if you want, you can strike this way. Because you can actually do this with just one. You can still strike, but see that the key point is not to just hit the arm. You're striking, kind of loosening that. And remember, you're coming up, and when you come up, look, I'm still in Jumonji. I'm also guarded because remember, you're still not clear of this. So you're striking, but I'm still guarding. And then taking this. This is very vital. So, and that's why, for Jumonji. So when this comes through, this is a kind of strike, and I'm clearing this, and this, I'm not, watch my foot. That's it. Okay. I'm sorry. So I'm just doing this. Footwork. So as I'm coming in, see, he takes the position. Automatic. Okay? Play. Precision.
Space, right? Right now the space is kind of neutral, right? I'm going to have to do something to control the space to get him to where I want him to be, right? So how I do that is all the stuff that y'all been working on for a while. All right, so break his balance. There's that. Okay, so control the space. Go ahead. Close it. Right, we think of kamai as a physical position. Right, but kamai is as much a mental position as it is a physical position. So as I'm moving, so what kamai?
Ichimonji.
Ichimonji, right? So I'm ichimonji, and I'm going to take this arm because it's closer, and this is where his balance point is. Keep him going backward. Okay. This is called dasho. This is a different kamai. Okay? Control the space, come out. What we do is to elicit some kind of response out of our uke. We want him to move in a certain specific direction that's going to help us do what our next thing is going to be. So if I'm here and I want him to come out of his balance point and I come into my ichimonji, that's fine, I can do that. This bends this arm, okay? That's something that I'm trying to do. I want this arm to be bent. It's gonna make it a lot easier for me to get here. Now notice how low I'm sinking. He actually goes down to a knee, and then that hurts. So you're trying to get them to do something. So it's Itsudo rhythm. Okay, so you're trying to get that rhythm. It's the same thing we do with like kihon happo, right? When we do our ukigata and kihon happo, we're stopping that, but we're also placing that neck where we can get the punch. We're doing the same thing with all of the kihon. Okay, so you've got to have Itsudo, and we've already kind of talked about, we're just, instead of doing step 1, step 2, step 3, it's basically step 1 and done. Okay, so now I got it. The other side. Down, way down, up, and then uncoil like the spring. Okay? Those You've seen this already, right? We're combining Jumonji and musha dori. So if you think about the first step, the first waza past kihon happo in Yokoryu is called koku. It starts with a technique called kenkudaki, which just means destroying the weapon. And that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to destroy that. I want to make him really be hesitant to try and throw that punch at me again. And then, so it's kind of the same thing, except instead of coming from underneath into this sort of outside hoshu, we're coming sort of chudan ukinagashi to inside hoshu. And that strike is literally ribbon like that. Okay? Those just blast. Well, I'm not getting that out. So you have to control your strike then, right? So you can still pop it without just blasting them to smithereens. Okay? Because also if I just blast this, I might catch that one too. Okay, so that's not something that I want to do. So you gotta control that. Still get the bend. You're still covering. Okay, so if you're having a problem or have had that problem where, bam, well, what do I do now? Well, you turn around and go away, or you pull your knife, or you do something else, because you're not going to try to chase a technique that you have. Okay, so those are. Add it. Okay, add that urashito. So this technique is here. The technique, this is called rakudai. So fine. Kenkudaki, urashito. Then adding that for the caption. Okay? Those are.
Same start as what Shane did. But then, like, as you take this, you probably like let him sense that you're taking it. And hold your hand back in there. Right there. Okay. So one is precision, and not just the point you're hitting, but the weapon you're using. Right? Get around his guard. So then, as you come through, it's not bringing this hand or the shoulder forward. It's pulling the other one back. Right. So I try to pull this like I'm in this position. If I try to go forward, I'm almost like jamming myself up. I'm a little too close. Right. If you don't feel like a kobuken is going to be enough, then use the bone in your forearm. But pull this shoulder back, and that sets up the next one. So So we get all this in, and you want to hit him, right? Let's say whether you want to hit him with cocaine or you want to hit him with bone. What you have to be careful of is this is not a power shot, like in the sense of because it's a skull. You may actually break your own arm if you hit too hard. It's just enough to stun it. Maybe I hurt him with that one. Right? Just enough to, like when maybe your parents like occasionally bat you up against the head or your older sibling. What are you doing? Pulling a gibbs if you watch NCIS. And it's like, and it alters breaks your mind a little bit and sets you up, sets them up for the next thing.
I would say that second one, from the feeling, the second one would have been the
cross coming through?
Yeah, the cross would have been the one where I probably would have felt the power. This kind of sucks. From the feeling, it sucks, but honestly, I don't. After it, when you realize when we only went to that point, it's not enough that would have really, it just kind of got me rolling, stunned me just slightly, but the real power, I would say, would have been that second one from the cross, because you would have had everything geared, ready and turning to deliver. So,
Like,
from the feeling.
and this other thing too, like if you have if you're a smaller frame person, your bones are smaller. Like you might be able to like if you can move your body well enough to generate enough force, you can generate enough force, hit them in the face, and break your own hand. That's like overpower. So one way to mitigate that is precision of hitting it correctly. That's why you can't just like kind of semi-randomly throw something. Because if it's not precise enough, you may position your hand in such a way that it gets broken. The other thing, like, you see some of these big power punches because people watch like combat sports, but their hands are protected. Like the gloves, people I think some people used to think that the gloves were to protect the person getting punched. That's not true. Gloves are to protect the hands of the person punching. And so, like, you can throw a big power shot and hit somebody in the head because you got the extra weight of the glove, and it can help knock them out without as much risk as your hand getting injured. You can't really do that as well barehanded. The other option, like people throw punches like that all the time in fights and don't get their hands broken. It's not like it's a gonna happen type thing, but it's something to be aware of. Like Mike Tyson, one of the best punchers in the world, broke his hand in a street fight. When he was like the world heavyweight champion, got in a street fight in a bar or something, punched the guy in the head, broke his hand. And he's hit things thousands of times, so he should have decent bone density because all the impact and resistance. But it's not a guarantee, especially when you have that much power. As much power as he had, and then hitting bone on bone and broke his hand. So another way, like you should definitely hit things to get used to your hands hitting things. And we don't really maybe sometimes have that luxury, like hitting a heavy bag maybe, but people say, oh, you should wrap your hands. I disagree with that, because that's a crutch. You should start out light, so you don't, you have to get your skin time to get used to it, or you'll start wearing blisters through your knuckles, start bleeding. Or if you're lucky enough to have a yard or something, build an old school makiwara and just spend day rep after rep hitting it, and that'll make your hands strong. Or maybe do some knuckle push-ups that way. So anyway, that's all I got. We'll bow out and clean it up.